Hi, I'm Glenn. Today, we're going to talk about Chat GPT, which is an amazing AI feature that I'm sure some of you have already used. If you're not using it with Google currently, I'm sure you will by the time you finish this video. So it's really important that you stay tuned. Now, some of you may have some experience, in which case you can jump around my video. I've set it up so that there's chapters. You can conveniently chop it up into different segments if you want to just jump ahead or go back and look at something. It's very vast and very informative. I do want to make a disclaimer right here, though. Don't take it for the law or the Bible on anything because it can make mistakes. And it's only as good as the information you're feeding it and the information available on the internet. So I've used it to demystify some of my medical issues and records. The reason being is lately I've been going through a lot of different testing and it can get very confusing, especially medical terminology. And I'm sure you find the same with legal terminology as you're using it for that. So go ahead, copy paste it in and let it decipher for you and put it into plain language. But don't take it, as I said, for the gospel, because if you do, you're going to maybe scare yourself or you're going to feel like disaster is impending. If you're strong enough to be able to sort and separate and say, okay, well, that's good information to have. I'll discuss it with my doctor, or if you're doing legal, discuss it with your lawyer. But again, just make sure that you can handle that type of thing. Even with blood testing, there's so many tiny little minutia blood work that you can feed into it and get the information on what does that do? What does it cause? Well, does it cause diabetes? Do I have diabetes? Again, don't take that for the law. Just take it for what it is. If you're on the high side or the low side of something in blood work, it's good to know about and good to ask your doctor about. This way, you're an informed person. You go in, especially as a senior, but you can be any age, it doesn't matter. It's all jargon unless you're in medical school or unless you're a doctor already. So, anyway, that's my disclaimer. And I want to jump into it fairly quickly and not hold you up too long. So, let's realize that we can have fun with this. Seniors, especially, can sort out a myriad of different issues. You can set reminders, you can look up anything you really want to look up, whether you're wanting to look up what's for dinner tonight or what show should I go and see. The nice thing about ChatGPT is when you are giving it verbal instructions or you're talking with it, it keeps a record of everything. So without further ado, let's hop in and I hope you enjoy this video. Oh, and don't forget, hit like and subscribe. I kind of need this to keep this channel up and running. So take care. Ciao for now. Talk to you soon. So let's get started with ChatGPT, shall we? Up on the left-hand side here, you'll notice that I have it already downloaded on this laptop, and it says ChatGPT, and you get this great-looking little symbol. So we're just going to start this up, and we're going to go from there. So here's ChatGPT's full screen. You'll notice on the left are all your commands. You've got symbol, you've got new chat, which is really going to be important to you because, as I may have or may not have said, each time you open a chat or you do something with ChatGPT, it keeps a record for you. That's all over here on the left-hand side. And you'll notice I have quite a number of different things that I've looked up. This isn't my first go at the video to try and get this done right. So bear with me because there's a lot of information and you're going to want to hang in here just for a bit. Jump around, as I said earlier in my intro, if you want to. But for now, let's start off with the very basics. I really enjoy the live chat feature with ChatGPT. When I say live chat, you'll notice here in the middle is your taskbar that you can type anything in or you can add files. You can, let's say you want to put a medical record in, you can do that just by hitting the plus sign. We'll do that in a minute. The next one over is your typing bar, and you can type anything in here. And if you don't feel like typing, then use the dictate, which is really easy to use. And it's very sharp. And we're going to do all of these, by the way, so I'm not just going to leave you hanging here. The last one over here on the right is use voice mode. Voice mode is where ChatGPT actually interacts with you verbally. So you can ask it questions, it'll answer questions. And the really cool thing about this is once you're done your chat and you close out, you'll get an actual typed record of what it is that you were talking about. So if you're like me and you don't take notes really quick, or you just want to hear something once but may want to refer back to it later on, you might want to keep those. They'll all show up on the left-hand tab over here, the left-hand side, so you can easily make reference to it later on. So let's get started with our first chat with ChatGPT. I've called this AI, artificial intelligence, Emily, just for fun. And my daughter actually taught me that. She uses ChatGPT almost as a friend in some cases. It's kind of funny. And it's kind of cool as well. But don't get too wrapped up with it if you don't feel like it. You can just say, hey, ChatGPT, or hey, what's the weather like today in Miami? So we're going to do things like that this morning. This is a cloud-like idea where you have this mist rolling in, and this is actually your AI listening to what you're saying. So today we're calling this AI Emily. So I'm going to say, hey, Emily, what's the weather like in Miami today?
Day. So in Miami today, it's going to be partly sunny with a high around 80 degrees and a low of about 66 degrees. The winds will be coming from the east northeast at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sounds pretty nice.
That's awesome. So now let's say you live in Italy. So, hey, what's the weather going to be like today in Florence?
In Florence today, you'll have mostly cloudy skies and a chance of showers. The high is around 19 degrees Celsius and the low will be about 13 degrees.
Okay, so now let's change the topic. Let's say I want to find out what the best-selling vehicles are right now close to me. So I'll just say, hey, what are the best top 3 selling vehicles near me?
In Canada right now, the top 3 selling vehicles are the Ford F-Series, the Toyota RAV4, and the GMC Sierra. Pretty popular choices.
Well, that's awesome. So we're going to leave this chat, but remember, you can ask anything you want. So just bear that in mind. It doesn't matter whether you want to know the population of New Guinea or whether you want to know exactly the fastest route down to your nearest grocery store. You can ask these questions and get full answers for it. For example, what is the population of New Guinea?
New Guinea is split into Papua New Guinea and Western New Guinea. As of mid 2023, Papua New Guinea has about 10.8 million people, and Western New Guinea, which is part of Indonesia, has around 5.6 million. So, in total, the population of New Guinea is roughly 16.4 million.
As you can see, it's extremely thorough and it really does a very good job. This information, by the way, is all based on internet. So if there's any mistakes or errors, it's only because there's a mistake or an error on the internet. AI doesn't actually just make this up on their own. So that's kind of cool. So let's carry on with our tutorial here, and you can see what other really cool features are available.
Real-time data and provide accurate info. And you're right, it all comes from reliable sources online. I'm excited to see what other cool features and topics we can dive into as we go along.
So you'll notice here at the bottom, there's the microphone and there's the X button. I'm going to hit the N button so that we can move out. And as you can see here on my screen now, and it's instantaneous, everything has actually been typed out for me. So if I want to go back and check these facts, or if I want to show them to somebody or send them off to somebody, you've got all kinds of neat ways of doing that. You can do a copy, you can do a good response, bad response, or you can even share this. So you have a lot of things you can do just from this one screen alone. So moving on, let's go into actually a new chat and we'll ask ChatGPT for something else. So let's start up a new chat and see how we can dictate what we're looking to find out. So here you are. What are you working on is the first thing. So ask any question, add files, or right here, let's go to dictate. What are the number of states in the United States of America that start with the letter M? So let's hit the up arrow now. This is exact and very quick. So there are 8 US states that start with the letter M. Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, I'm not saying that right, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, and Montana. So that's really cool, and it's really fast, as you can see. So let's ask something else. It says, is this conversation helpful so far? Now you'll notice that she's not talking to me. In this case, I'm typing it in and she's responding back. So for this question, we're going to ask something like, what is the best burger recipe to do in my air fryer? So just something that I'm interested in. Let's say I want to make that for dinner tonight. So let's ask that question. What is the best burger recipe that I can have for my air fryer? Once you're done talking, hit the check mark beside the icon, and then don't forget to hit the up arrow. And the answer is very quick. Best air fryer burger, juicy and perfect every time. Ingredients makes 2 large burgers. So you get a very complete recipe here. All you have to do is copy paste this wherever you want to put it. You can even leave it here and just come back to ChatGPT every time you want to look it up. But my wife and I find it a lot simpler just to open up notes and have a recipe file folder in there, and we can just copy paste them. And it gives you the full instructions, shape of the patty, cooking the burger is 8 to 10 minutes. There's, again, every single possible thing you could possibly want to know about making this particular burger. Again, really cool idea. And as you saw, it was lightning fast. So a lot of times you can get these answers back super fast. So let's say now you're done with this and you want to move on to something else. So let's move on to a brand new chat here. And let's say we're going to type this in this time. So you have to just type anything you want. So let's say, what's the best Italian restaurant near me? What is the best Italian restaurant near me? It'd be nice if I spelled the word Italian right, but just goes to show you. Italian, there we go. And give me their menu. Their menu. All right, so hit the up arrow. And it's searching the web. And it's giving me what 2 top Italian restaurants near me. So here we go. We've got Via Cibo, and gives me the address and gives me the food style and tells me what some of the menu highlights are. So if I want to make a decision in advance of going, or if I decide to go there, then I can already know what I might be looking for. And then there's North and Navy. So again, same idea. Here's the menu. Recommendations, if you want a casual laid back dinner, quick pasta, pizza spot, go to Via Cibo. So there you go. That's really easy, really fast. Again, everything's lightning fast here, and it happens very quickly. There's a lot more that this can do. So now let's get into the more serious topics of what you can do. And that is, if you're afraid of medical results and you just want to know what's going on, but are not going to take this for gospel truth, you might want to just do a copy paste of a document into your ChatGPT. And if it's a legal thing that you're looking for explanations, ChatGPT will not give you a firm diagnosis. It will give you possibilities or something like that, but it's not meant to replace a doctor. You have to go and see your doctor, or you have to go and see your lawyer. Don't take this for the gospel. As I've said in the very opening part of this, you might regret it. And if you are a little timid and a little afraid of knowing what's going on, then don't use this feature at all. I'm a curious guy. I really like to know what's happening with me. I don't take it anywhere past what I read on the screen, because you can speculate and drive yourself nuts. Don't do that. Enjoy your time here and use it to learn something. So I'm going to do this right now. We're going to delve into this. So here's a medical situation that I happen to have had. It's mine, and it's concerning a mass I had in my abdomen. It was a cancerous one, and I wanted to know what this meant. So here's the copy paste portion right in here that I've just highlighted. Interval reduction in size, intensity, right peritoneal mass, max SUV, and it was still a Deauville 4 measuring that size. So I had no idea what that meant, not a clue. So I decided put it in ChatGPT and get an explanation on it. Well, I did. This is describing a follow-up PET scan, and it goes on to tell you it is smaller, less active. It tells you what a retroperitoneal mass is, and it also gives you different uptakes, 1 to 3, considered good, 4 is still higher, and whatnot. So then it gives a summary and tells you that it's less active than before, suggests treatment is working. That's really good to know. And I was curious and I wanted to know what was going on. The worst news is the Deauville 4 down here. Okay, so she's asked here, would you like me to explain Deauville 4 usually means for next steps in treatments or follow-up? And I had said yes right here. So Deauville 4 uptake, and it goes on to explain it. So these are all things that, again, I wanted to know. So it will go on and on and on and ask you different, it actually prompts you, do you want more information? Do you want to know this? Do you want to know that? If you want to, keep on going. Break it right down. I just really wanted to know where I stood, and I wasn't like horribly taken aback by the results, but I also waited until I saw my oncologist to find out exactly what was happening here. So let's move on to something else. Here's another example of a copy paste saying a post that I wanted to make about my cancer journey, and I didn't want it to sound too overbearing or too pity party like. I just wanted to state what was happening with me so my friends knew and could get a good idea on what was going on. So here I posted all of this paragraph, or what's more than one paragraph, it's actually my entire post. And here GPT is saying, here's a shorter, more polished version that keeps your heartfelt tone and message intact. So she took all this and she just wrote it down to this short and easy to read synopsis of what's going on. So that worked for me. I really liked it. You don't have to take this either. But now at the bottom here, she asks, let me know if you would like me to adjust tone, more humorous, more casual, more spiritual. So if I wanted it more humorous, I would just say more humorous. And instantly, she's going to make it a little more humorous. So here's the new post. I'm posting this not for pity party. Trust me, if there is a party, I expect better snacks. But because I've decided to face cancer and chemo head on with a bit of humor. So that was a little bit different from the first opening where I'm sharing this not for pity party, but I decided to face. So you can read that on your own. But as you can get the gist of what's happening here, you can take anything that you have and actually put it through ChatGPT and change the tone of it. If you want to keep certain words, just go in and say, hey, I want to keep this, or keep certain sentences. I want to keep this sentence in. It'll rewrite it again until it gets it to the point where you're actually really happy with the end results. And finally, let's just import something that we want to share and see what ChatGPT says. So here's the plus sign. Just hit the plus sign. It says add photo and files, take a screenshot, take a photo, create an image, thinking, deep research, study exam, study and learn. And there's more, web search and Canvas. So let's just say we're going to add a file. So here's the paperclip mark, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. So let's just hit add a file and let's get to the file that we want to add. So on a final note, I think we'll leave it here. There's so many opportunities to use ChatGPT in your everyday life. And if you are a content creator or you're starting up your own channel, I asked ChatGPT the best way to make a new video presentation, which is up on my screen right now. And I thought it was well done and well thought out. So again, don't be afraid of ChatGPT. If you really are uncertain about something, or if you're going to use it to actually run your life, don't. You have your own life, you have your own thoughts, but it can be a lot of fun in any event. Just use it the way you feel like using it. So on that happy note, I'm going to leave it here. This is Glenn from Techsavy for Seniors. You don't have to be a senior to watch, and don't forget and hit like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. So guys, have an awesome day, and we'll see you soon.